The first time your phone lit up with their name and something in you quietly changed, you felt it immediately. Maybe it was the third call that day. Maybe the fifth missed call about something small. Maybe they asked where you put a paper, what time your appointment was, whether it might rain, then said sorry before hanging up. You thought they were becoming needy, anxious, or too dependent. You were reading the behavior. You were missing the meaning. It is not because you failed them. When aging parents call multiple times a day, the obvious story is frequency. Too many calls, too many check-ins, too many little reasons. But the real story is rarely the calls themselves. It is the space between the calls. It is what happens after they hang up and sit back down in a quieter house. It is what they do with the silence once your voice is gone. Many parents from their generation were raised to believe emotional needs should stay hidden. You worked. You carried your load. You did not ask for reassurance. You did not say, "I miss you." You did not say, "I feel unsettled today." You found a practical reason to speak instead. That is why the call may be about batteries, a recipe, a password, a neighbor's dog, or whether stores are open. The topic is often camouflage. The contact is the real need. Think about that for a second. They are not always asking for information. They are asking for connection in the only language that feels safe to them. So, what can you do today? The next time they call with something minor, answer the question, then add one human sentence. Tell me what your morning has been like. Stay there for 30 extra seconds. Sometimes that small bridge matters more than the answer they asked for. There is another layer many adult children miss. Repeated calls can come from emotional self-protection. Older parents often fear becoming a burden more than they fear being alone with their thoughts. So they test the waters in tiny doses. One short call feels safer than one honest call. Asking where the scissors are feels safer than saying, "I needed to hear your voice today." Then the moment they sense they may be inconveniencing you, guilt rushes in. You hear it in the quick apology. "Sorry to bother you. I'll let you go. Never mind." That guilt did not appear overnight. It was trained into them over decades. Many spent their adult life being the helper, not the helped. They were the ride to school, the packed lunch, the solved emergency, the steady hand when everyone else was rattled. Now the emotional traffic has reversed, as they need more from others than they once did. Even when you gladly give it, part of them still feels they are breaking an old rule. Be honest, if someone who always rescued everyone suddenly needed rescuing, would they adapt easily? Most would not. So when guilt appears after the call, do not rush to say, "You're fine." Show them with consistency instead. Pick one predictable time this week and call first. Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., Friday after breakfast. Reliability lowers guilt because they no longer feel they must initiate every contact. Now we go deeper. Sometimes the pain behind frequent calls is grief, but not only grief for people who are gone. It is grief for versions of life that disappeared quietly. The busy kitchen, the work schedule, the errands that filled the day, the role of being urgently needed, the body that moved faster, the confidence that came from handling everything without help. These losses often arrive without ceremonies. No one gathers to mark the last year they hosted every holiday, or the last time they drove everywhere without thinking. Yet the nervous system feels those losses anyway. When structure leaves life, people naturally reach for anchors. A familiar voice can become one of those anchors. Your call, your text, your answer, your name on a screen. Not because you are a tool, because you are part of what still feels continuous in a world that keeps changing shape. That is why some calls happen at the same hour, late afternoon, after dinner, right before bed. Those are transition moments, empty moments, moments when old routines used to hold them. Here is something specific to do within 24 hours. Notice the timing of their calls for 1 week. If they often ring around 5 p.m., call at 4:50 tomorrow. Do not wait for the phone to ring. Meet the need before it turns into guilt. There is also a psychological layer backed by real research. Studies on aging and social connection consistently show that regular contact with trusted people supports emotional regulation, memory confidence, and lowers stress in later life. Older adults who feel connected often cope better with daily changes because the mind responds strongly to familiarity. In plain language, familiar voices help the brain feel safer. A voice they trust can calm internal tension faster than most people realize because it signals stability, continuity, and belonging. Safety matters because aging often brings more uncertainty. Appointments to track, medications to manage, passwords to remember, technology updates that feel confusing, shifting energy levels, names forgotten then remembered later, and routines that no longer feel automatic. None of these moments has to be dramatic on its own. But small uncertainties can stack up across a day until the mind feels slightly unsteady without knowing why. When the brain feels less certain, it naturally seeks orientation. Human beings do this at every age, but older adults may feel it more strongly when the world around them is changing faster than their sense of control can keep up. That orientation may look like repeated calling. It may sound like asking the same small question twice. It may be hearing your steady tone and remembering, for a moment, where they stand in the world, what still feels dependable, and who is still there when the day feels harder to hold together. And yes, memory changes can play a role too. They may forget they already told you something. They may mean to ask one question and call back when another thought arrives. They may lose track of time between conversations. But even then, the emotional meaning still matters. Correcting facts without offering warmth misses half the picture. Instead of saying, "You already asked me that, try this. We talked about it earlier and the answer is still the same. I've got you." One sentence preserves dignity while giving reassurance. Dignity is everything here, because beneath the calls, beneath the guilt, beneath the practical excuses, there is usually one deepest layer: identity. This is the layer most people never see. For decades, your parents may have known exactly who they were: provider, problem solver, decision maker, protector, the one who remembered birthdays, the one who fixed the sink, the one who held the family together when tempers rose. Identity is not a label, it is a place to stand. Aging can shake that place. Retirement can remove usefulness tied to work. For decades, many parents woke up knowing exactly where they were needed, what problems required them, and what responsibilities only they could carry. Their time had structure. Their skills had visible value. Their effort changed something every day. Then one season ends, and the role that organized so much of their identity quietly disappears. Even when retirement is welcome, it can still create an empty space where purpose used to live. Physical limits can interrupt competence tied to action. The person who once fixed every broken hinge, drove everywhere without thinking, lifted heavy boxes, handled emergencies, or managed the household at full speed may now need more time, more rest, or more help. That change is not only practical, it can feel deeply personal. When the body changes, many people experience it as a change in self. They do not just think, "I move slower." They think, "I am not who I was." Friends moving or passing can reduce the social mirrors that once reflected who they were. We learn about ourselves partly through the people who know our history. Old friends remember the younger version of us, the family stories, the habits, the strengths, and the roles we carried for years. When those people are gone, some of that reflection goes with them. Adult children becoming busy and capable can be beautiful, but it can also leave a parent asking privately, "If no one needs me the way they once did, who am I now?" Read the calls through that lens, and everything changes. Sometimes they are not reaching for your time. They are reaching for a role. They want to feel that they still contribute, still guide, still matter in the movement of family life. If you only answer the question, you solve the surface problem. If you invite contribution, you touch identity. Ask for their opinion on something real. How would you season this? What would you do with this money decision? You always handled paperwork better than I did. How would you organize this? Can you remind me how Grandpa used to do that? These moments are small, but they restore something larger than the topic itself. You are not pretending they matter. You are reminding them they still do. And notice what happens when someone feels useful again. The tone softens. The call becomes richer. The guilt often eases because the exchange is no longer one way. They are giving something, not only receiving. This does not mean you must answer every call instantly or ignore your own limits. Love without boundaries turns brittle. You are allowed to work, rest, parent your own children, miss a ring, and call back later. The goal is not endless availability. The goal is wiser availability. Try a simple script. "I can't talk right now, but I'm calling you at 8 tonight." Then keep that promise. Boundaries feel caring when they are clear and reliable. If the calls sometimes irritate you, that does not make you ungrateful. It makes you human. Many adult children are carrying jobs, bills, marriages, parenting, and exhaustion. But irritation becomes information when you look underneath it. Often it says, "I need a better system, not that I love them less." So build one. Set recurring call times. Use video once a week if distance allows. Ask one meaningful question each conversation. Invite one contribution from them each week. Notice patterns instead of judging them. Replace reaction with interpretation. Because one day, without warning, the phone may become quieter. Not dramatically, just gradually. The missed calls stop. The voicemails shorten. The practical questions disappear. And you may realize those interruptions were also invitations. Invitations to understand the person behind the behavior while there was still time to do it differently. The window is closing, as all windows do. This will not wait forever. Not because disaster is coming tomorrow, but because seasons move, whether we are paying attention or not. Use the season you still have. Call them on an ordinary Tuesday morning with no agenda. Ask about the small details no one else asks about. Let pauses breathe. Ask for their advice on something genuine. When they apologize for calling too much, tell them you are glad to hear their voice, then prove it through how you keep showing up. If this helped you see your parents more clearly, subscribe and share it with someone who still has time to understand their own. Somewhere tonight, an older hand will set down a phone a little more gently beside a warm lamp.